Ready?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you changed into... Gosh. Okay, let's drink some wine. Hi, everybody. I'm Bryan Hinschberger.
And I'm Paul Hinschberger.
We are the Wine Brothers, and we are here going to taste some fantastic Italian wine today. So we import wines from Spain and Italy, and these wines come from Piedmont, or Piemonte, the area of northwestern Italy. Very, very famous region for Barolos and Barbarescos, of the Nebbiolo grape, but also very, very famous for Barberas and Gavi di Gavi of Cortese and Bracchettos and Moscatos. So we're going to taste some of those today. This is Vincchio Vaglio Serra. The winery, or it's actually a cooperative. So this cooperative started back in 1959. And Guliano Noe has been the winemaker there for 25 years. So I'm not sure if you know how cooperatives work in the wine world, but essentially you have all sorts of growers. All these growers with their own plots of lands, and then they bring their grapes together, and they're sometimes there's numerous winemakers, sometimes one winemaker. In this case, it's really always been very quality focused. It started with 19 growers, and it's grown from there. But everyone only still has, less than 10-acre plots. So very quality focused that come together. They bring in their wine, they bring in their fruit, and then Guliano Noe takes all the wines and makes these gorgeous expressions of everybody's grapes and what the land really has to tell. He's been making wine for 25 plus years there, has been winemaker of the year from the Gambero Rosso, really well acclaimed, fantastic winemaker.
Wow.
Vincchio Vaglio Serra. Vincchio is a town, Vaglio Serra is a town. They sit smack dab in the middle on a hill. So the area there is gorgeous, lots of the clay, sandy loams, but very hilly and very protected because it's covered by forest. Right, there's like nationally protected forests that are all around the property. So it's pretty neat little area for being a co-op too, which we like because we like to focus on the smaller guys. But this is we feel like this house really does that still, even in the co-op sense.
Right.
So they kind of do a few tiers of wines. Check out our video on the upper tiers, the Barbaresco, the huge Barberas, 100-year-old vine Barbera. This is the Cantina Tre Serre line, their value line, which I adore because it's quality juice for very affordable prices. And how they do that, and let's maybe start with the first wine, is
I thought you'd never ask.
is the Cantina Tre Serre Piemonte Cortese. So Cortese is the varietal, 100% Cortese here. If you've ever heard of Gavi di Gavi, Gavi is a region that has the Cortese varietal. The thing is Gavi, if it's demarcated into that region, is going to be more expensive. DOCG Gavi di Gavi is not cheap. However, you demarcate and you pull from areas around there. You call it just Piemonte Cortese. Doesn't have the big old nice guaranteed on the DOCG, but it is DOC Piemonte Cortese. Paul, talk to me. What's the nose like?
Peach blossoms. And
peach blossoms.
And that's really the main thing I'm getting at.
Yeah, actually, it's got this gorgeous floral note to it. But I would not be scared to say that I actually kind of ventured into those stone fruits.
Sure, absolutely.
Some of the like white peach a little bit.
When I say peach blossom, it's
the whole.
It's the blossom and the peach.
Together.
Mm-hmm.
The nose is gorgeous. This honestly, I've always been stoked about. Very simple wine with stunning characteristics to it. Cortese is typically just this bright, fresh, gorgeous varietal. The second most widely planted white varietal of Piedmont, next to Moscato, or right behind Moscato.
It's got good texture.
Yeah, how's the palate?
Good acidity. Because Cortese is kind of a little bit more of a full-bodied white, like many native Italian varietals or white varietals are.
Right, but they always hold true on their freshness, their acidity, very, very crisp. The acidity is fantastic, just mouth-watering. This would pair beautifully, you know, with any sort of seafood.
Yes, definitely.
You know, you're right off the Ligurian Sea. Essentially, you know, kind of all that influence comes right up into Piedmont. So local seafood, obviously, if you're in Piedmont, just grab some local seafood.
With some grilled peaches on top.
Grilled peaches on top, and then a peach blossom garnish. That's a pretty plate right there.
That would be very pretty.
So let's move on to the. So this is now the Piemonte Barbera. So like I was saying, they demarcate these things, so they're not these guaranteed areas of Barbera d'Asti or Barbera d'Alba, but they're just Piemonte Barbera. So what that does is they pass on a lot of savings because the fruit's not coming from the extreme, you know, this is the end-all be-all regions. However, they're just over the borders and they're still making really, really killer juice. Oh, it smells fantastic.
It does. It's really earthy in like a woodsy way. Like it smells like the vine of the grapevine.
It smells delicious. Really, really packed with earth. It has the fruit, but what I love is that, you know, it's like boysenberries and blackberries, but the vine. It's the vine of all those things. Very, very gripping, enticing nose. In fact, I don't really want to taste it because the nose is so tasty.
But the palate just shows right through the same thing. I mean, it's that's tasty.
So, you ready for this?
Yes.
Both these bottles sit on a shelf right around $11, $12. You can't beat that with a blackberry bush. And that would hurt. I've been blackberry picking lately. You know, we live up here in the Northwest, and there's blackberries everywhere. You should see my freezer. Maybe we'll take a bottle. We'll take a still shot of my freezer and zip it in. No.
You don't care.
So, so then what they do is they then move into also doing very, very traditional style Moscatos and Brachetto. So two varietals. You know, we're going back to white. Actually, we're moving into sweet wines here. So you might be thinking, you know, why do we do that? But we discussed just how the wines are built, and these wines are about to be sweet. They're about to coat our palates with sugary deliciousness. Paul, do you have more to say about this one? Just
that it's so good by itself, but one of those wines that is simple and driven by fruit and earth and acidity, that it'll be great with food or just on the deck drinking by itself.
Honestly, I'm ready to throw a point out on this wine. Ready for this? I'm giving this 50 out of 50 points. 100% basically, right?
Basically.
If you do the math, it's 100%. So, 50 out of 50 for any $11 or $12 bottle that you find out there. You know, I think the whole flawed system of points and definite things is that it's not really taking into account anything of what the bottle is. If you want to spend $11 and you go buy this bottle, 50 out of 50. Easy drinking, good with food. Drink this with pizza. Actually, that sounds great. Little pizza in this Barbera. I digress. Back over to the sweet talk. So we're moving now into a Moscato d'Asti.
Give you a rinse here.
Thank you. Thank you, good sir. Now, Moscato d'Asti. Raise your hand if you've heard of that. Who loves Moscato d'Asti? Moscato is one of these gorgeous, gorgeous little bottles of wine that you can find all over the place, you know, but it comes from Piedmont. D'Asti, or Asti, is the region. So this one actually isn't demarcated to Piemonte Moscato. This is Moscato d'Asti. You know, beautiful, beautiful frizzanti bubbles. Honestly, this is one of my favorite Moscatos ever. And it's loaded with floral notes, you know, beautiful, beautiful fruits, peaches, pears, all sorts of stone fruits of any, nectarines, white peaches, pluots.
Walk into the grocery store and look at all the fruits, and you got, put them all together, and you got this.
Just put them all together and stomp on them a few times, and it'll smell like this. Just absolutely riveting nose. And the beautiful thing about Moscato d'Asti, and so what these guys do, Guliano Noe builds this Moscato, I mean, by law, I mean, they're supposed to be very, very low alcohol. This is 5.5% alcohol. Do you know what that means?
You can drink a whole bottle by yourself. It doesn't matter.
Exactly! You can drink it in the morning, you can drink it at night, and you can drink the whole thing. This is...
I don't know if that's what you were going to say.
That is exactly what I was going to say. The texture, I don't even need to spit that. It's like drinking Bud Light, you know what I mean?
It's just
but way
so
tastier.
delicious and fresh.
And freshest.
Freshest, that's the... It's a mixture of delicious
So,
and fresh.
Moscato d'Asti, easy drinking. You can do it for dessert. You can do it as a kind of an aperitif. But it's just beautifully built, very, very sweet. But not overly the top. You know, it's not like, there's no sugar stain in your mouth.
Yeah. It's not viscous. It's light and lightly sweet.
Yeah, the frizzantiness also kind of cleanses everything. The acidity's still there, nice. So, kind of moving on the same vein is a Brachetto. So, you know, Moscato's super popular. Brachetto, some of you may know, some of you may not. But essentially, it's a red Moscato. Brachetto is the varietal. But you serve it chilled. It's slightly frizzanti.
And slightly sweet.
And absolutely delicious. You stick your nose in this one, you get all the red fruits. You know, not quite as much all those big stone fruits that we were just talking about, but it's the blackberry, raspberry, boysenberry, huckleberry, blueberry. You know, go to the berry aisle, put them on the ground, stomp on them, and it's gonna smell like that. So, let's dissect this real quick, and then kind of just talk about these two methods. What do you get?
It's fruity for sure and delicious, but there's definitely an underlying minerality or earthiness or something. I can't put my finger on it, but it's really...
like licking a lollipop, or a creamsicle.
Okay.
It's kind of got
I
this.
wasn't going that direction.
It kind of has this orange zest to me. Like there's some sort of like candied zest here that I think is just delicious. So if you want to pair delicious dessert, Brachetto with anything chocolate. You know, I love doing a little, Napoleon stacker of phyllo dough, a fresh chocolate mousse, fresh raspberries. You could not beat this.
Yeah.
Remember,
I would do that versus like a dark chocolate.
Yes. Something lighter chocolate.
Light chocolate.
Remember, you always want your wine to be sweeter than your dessert to make a killer pairing for dessert. So, Charmat method here. Charmat basically means, it's a different style of keeping bubbles in a big old tank, goes straight into bottle. This is not Charmat method. This is actually just a closed stainless steel tank, and this is natural carbonation, which is kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The wine is luscious. It's delicious. Both of these sit on a shelf for $16, $17. So, forget about it. It's not your $8.99 Moscato that you taste that tastes like everything else and it's cloying and it's gross and whatever. These are really, really clean, really, really driven, quality wines. Yeah. So, I hope you can find these because this value is killer. From Piemonte, right in the heart of Asti, from Vincchio Vaglio Serra, the Cantina Tre Serre line of Guliano Noe. Beautiful wines, beautiful lineup, and if you haven't tried these varietals in general, even if you can't find these bottles, check them out. Try these varietals because they're fresh, they're fantastic. Cheers.
Cheers.